Welcome to Floating Leaf Tea Podcast. I'm Showen.
And I'm Noah. And today we're drinking my favorite tea in the whole world.
Wow. 凍頂哦.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is a yes, huh?
Now, this is Dongding tea. More specifically,
精选 varietal.
yes. It's our milk and honey Dongding. Milk and honey oolong. We just call it milk and honey oolong. But it's from Dongding.
Mm-hmm. Is there a reason why you requested this tea today?
Well, I'll tell you. Since you asked. But you might want to sit down, because it's going to be a long story.
I already sat down.
Oh, good.
Are you even looking? No.
Looking at you. It all started back this morning when I wanted to drink a light oolong.
Oh, this morning you wanted to drink a light oolong?
And then I thought, how about milk and honey oolong? That's a really good light oolong.
And and you didn't tell me, so I brew you a very dark aged 铁观音.
I'm not against that either.
Oh, okay.
But I did feel like drinking a light oolong for some reason today. Maybe not first thing, but just get the lightness, get the brightness, get the easygoing feeling of that tea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the reason. Cool.
Well, not really.
What?
Not really a reason. Just want to drink the tea.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's like it's good to visit the tea because I remember we recorded a podcast on this milk and honey oolong while you were
Yeah, it was long distance.
in Taiwan, and so we actually drank the tea separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were at the house at like 8 o'clock at night drinking the tea.
Yeah, and you are like, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning or something.
Not that early, but yeah, in the morning for sure.
8, so you will be 11. Yeah, 11, almost noon. Also, by the way, this tea is gonna be on a live session on Tuesday.
That's the other reason I thought it would be a fitting tea today. Since we're doing live
preview
session.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow, it does smell like corn. The corn after you bite into it. By the way, now I just put the dry leaves in a warm teapot and I smell corn.
Since you said that, yeah, it smells like corn silk. The corn silk tea that the Korean restaurants have.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet and grainy. Just want to say, if any of you picked up a loofah last week, I want to say congratulations to you. If you haven't picked one up yet, I recommend you do it soon.
Are you gonna develop the song?
The song?
A little bit, yeah.
No, not right now.
I mean, not right now, but are you gonna develop the song?
Oh, the loofah song?
Yeah.
I mean, we already recorded it. Sometimes you just gotta let a hit be a hit. If someone wants to come along and remix it, that's their business.
Good attitude. The big star attitude.
Yeah.
I like it. Probably 25 people listen to the song. Not 25 million.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a star. Because I haven't seen 25 people in I don't know how long.
By the way, people treasure that song as a first time I sang in public.
Wow.
Like that. Might be one of the few times.
Let's call it the first time.
It is the first time. I think like in public like this, recorded, totally first time. Unless I was so drunk, I was not aware of what happened before that I actually did it.
Oh, sight for sore eyes. Or
No, what?
a smell for sore noses. That doesn't sound very good though. A sight for sore eyes in the nose. It smells good. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, it is milky on the surface smell, like warm milk. But the sweetness is not the warm milk style of sweetness. It's more like roasted corn. I'm very into corn today. Maybe you should buy some corn today.
That's good.
For light tea, actually have its bigness in the tea. The texture, the tea brush just spread really nicely.
Yeah. This tea reminds me of abundance. It reminds me of a simpler time of children frolicking in the cornfields.
What is frolicking?
Playing and running around.
Oh, nice.
In the Bible, God called Israel the promised land. He called it the land flowing with milk and honey.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of a cultural phrase meaning a place of abundance. So they immigrants
milk and honey.
flowing with milk and honey. So the immigrants when they came to America called America a land of milk and honey.
Oh, not how Chinese see it. We see gold.
They see a land filled with gold and money. Not milk and honey, gold and money. Well, you guys don't drink milk, so a land full of soy milk and
gold.
brown sugar.
That's good to hear though. I actually I didn't know this, that immigrants call America is the land of milk and honey. Interesting. Cool.
It's like a prosperous
Sure.
abundance.
Yeah. Some cultural things that I learned today.
Yeah. And when I first tasted this tea, had that strong milkiness and that kind of floral sweetness. It made me think of warm milk mixed with honey.
Oh.
You kind of get that floral part of the honey, that sweetness from the honey, and then the warm milk kind of thickness.
Mine is warm milk mixed with corn syrup.
Well, why not? The honey of America is corn syrup. I remember when we were kids, we used to make popcorn balls.
Popcorn balls?
Make popcorn, make it sticky together with corn syrup.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can make it different colors too.
Huh.
It does have a lot of corn sweetness in there.
Yeah, not in that session that when I drank it with you, and not in the other sessions that I drank with people here when I could do tea tastings with other people. And today there's a lot of cooked corn smell in a broth. Really interesting.
In Taiwan, do you guys drink hot corn juice?
No. We eat cooked corn or steam, boiled corn or steam. If it's the whole thing, steamed corn.
Yeah.
And if it's the corn kernels got shaved, then we stir fry it.
Oh, okay.
With what do we stir fry it with? I mean, we don't really cook a lot of corn in Taiwan. I don't think so.
I just remember when I was in China, it was popular to drink corn juice.
Oh, very interesting.
I actually never drank it, but if you said that this is like when you bite into corn, so maybe that's what corn juice tastes like. I don't know.
The liquid is really rich though today, like more rich than I remember that session when I did it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now that brightness is in the aftertaste. The aftertaste.
Smell the cup too.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
This actually remind me of a customer recently just drank our GABA oolong. And then he make a comment that the girlfriend didn't like it as much because there's, what did he describe? Like there's like vegetable and then root vegetables.
Oh, he said it was like a whole meal.
Yeah, it's like meal and then there are courses in that tea and it's just too much for her. And I thought that's so cute. And today this tea kind of remind me of that. There's a little bit corn. There's some corn happening. There's some milk. There's some honey. There's some sweetness in there.
Flowers.
Yeah, and then there's flowers to kick in. Yeah, and it's like, wow, it's like in a cup of tea, they can be like almost like a dessert or meal. And in their case, it's like, wow, there are even different courses. There's a bit too much stimulation for a tea.
It's like a corn butter cake with a honey glaze and flowers on top. And milk on the side.
Yeah, me. Maybe we can skip the flowers on the top. I'll take it out on a piece of cake. I am just not a flower eater. Me no likey. It's great you asked for this tea today, because we're supposed to visit like our teas, so that we know what we are selling. And also seriously to see how a tea is developing, changing, or maintaining, etc., etc. But I just can't drink that much tea each day. I have to change that, I guess, the style and do it more like teachers. How many tea do they drink before they see customers? Like 5 to 7?
Probably, yeah.
And then they just do strong 3 infusions?
Yeah.
I would say even that is too much for me, though.
It's a lot of tea.
Yeah.
I mean, teacher generally just takes a little sip and then pours the rest of it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's also...
And we drank it.
He's also 75?
Yeah, about. Yeah.
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 You're young enough that you should be able to drink it all. Drink it all.
I'm just blowing a raspberry on myself.
It is a lot of tea. It actually is a lot of tea.
It's a lot of tea, but I would like to do that so that we get to, like, this is just delightful to get to know this tea.
Yeah.
Today, because before, when I tasted in that session, and then when I tasted with customers a few times, to be honest with you, I found it a very good tea, but not rich enough for me.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. But I also recognize that this is one of the light teas that they can enter the body. So that part is it's like one of the...
It's intriguing, right?
Yeah, totally check. When I evaluate tea, I have check points, and there are some things that I would like to check.
Yeah.
For me to like, oh, I want to drink this tea, and this tea actually have that very important part. The liquid enters the body. However, I always found it as not a rich tea.
Yeah.
But today it showed up as a very rich tea today. Like almost have a little bit, like you said, the abundance, the corn, almost autumn harvest somehow. But I would never, this tea will never remind me that it's an autumn tea. When I think of autumn tea, I think of other type of dongdings.
Like rich, dark teas.
That's right. And then I think of not necessarily rich, dark, more like it can be medium body, like Gaba Oolong and Oriental Beauty, those more oxidized teas.
Yeah.
I think it's autumn tea in a...
Yeah, the color orange,
in
the color brown.
Yeah. But for example, our Dongding traditional it also remind me of autumn on the leaves part. Like the more like the leaves, not because of the color, I don't think so, but somehow you associate like golden leaves to me. Like the leaves are start to turn golden. Yeah. Yeah. And it does carry a form of heaviness that remind me that autumn is here.
Yeah.
And this tea is, it is golden, but it is on the lighter side.
It's light. It's kind of gentle, innocent.
And today it remind me of autumn. But I don't think it's a corn harvesting here. It's a summer thing, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, I always see corn in the summertime here in the supermarket.
I grew up somewhere where they don't grow corn. We eat a lot of potatoes.
Okay.
Out on Vashon.
Anyway, somehow today that corn that is very close to the
stalk?
Yeah.
The cob?
The cob that smell. Today is the tea. Light toastiness and some sweetness.
Yeah, I think it tastes more similar to what I was tasting when I was in Taiwan. So I wasn't noticing as much corn. Not to say it wasn't there, but
sure.
I was noticing it. But that richness, the gentleness, the easygoing nature of the tea made it so I just wanted to drink it every day. I drank this tea many, many, many times.
I know you told me that.
Yeah.
And then when it came here, I guess the tea haven't really unfolded yet.
Needed time
It's
to
not that
acclimate,
it's not that it was hiding. You know, I never felt that the tea was hiding, but somehow the richness wouldn't show up for me.
Yeah. I did find that it was a very clear tell of how I was feeling that day, or how calm I was. Because sometimes it would come out very thin, and a little bit not burned, but
闷住了.
What's the word? Stuffy. Kind of like cooked, like overcooked vegetables. And the tea is relatively to a lot of the other, organic charcoal roasted teas that we have, relatively straightforward. So it was a really easy tell for me to see how I was feeling. Is this tea going to show up really rich and playful and gentle, or is it going to show up kind of overcooked and thin-bodied and kind of grouchy? It was so that's why I would come back to it every day. On top of the fact that it just felt very lighthearted.
Interesting. Cool. I guess I've been grouchy for like a month.
That's not what I'm saying, but the not necessarily that I was even grouchy when I was brewing it, but it was a really clear kind of litmus test to see how I was going to brew tea that day.
Tea I think it's so interesting for me to watch every single day we brew tea and watch the result and watch how we do it, and to know that there's so much that we could learn from it, and at the same time every single day there's a lot of frustration, and just that what even yesterday you brew a 红水 very pleasant, and then later I brew a tea and very pleasant, and somehow I pick up the rest of your 红水, I put it on the
stove,
in the stove to heat it back up, and I pour it out. Dang, that was so bad.
It was a terrible cup of tea.
It was a terrible cup of tea.
And then you brewed a white tea.
Yeah.
And it tasted really good.
Really good.
And then I'm like, I want to brew this one too. So I set up to brew the tea.
Yeah.
Terrible cup of tea.
Terrible cup of tea. We both look at each other, we took a sip, look at each other, and then just like, oh my God.
That was weird.
That was like, what the heck? What the heck just happened? Because, with the 红水, we did that a lot of times. We'll brew the 红水 and just have a good session, leave the pot aside, and sometimes we
come back to it.
Yeah, come back
soak
to
it, cook it, whatever.
Cook it, and then to bring the last juice out of it.
Yeah, 红水is easy going that way.
And yesterday, I make it so bad. It was... It was really frustrating.
It was terrible, and I can only say that because I brewed that same white tea that you brewed well, and I brewed it terribly. So it was a weird day. But this tastes really good. This is great.
Today is really good.
Yeah.
This milk and honey oolong.
Yeah.
I finally, thank goodness, I finally can see the richness of what you were saying on this tea.
That's awesome.
It's rich tea.
Yep.
Yes, I agree now. And how it enters the body. That sound. Listen to the sound when the liquid enters your body.
This tea makes me really happy. It's
very clean tea. Yeah, totally.
I was when I was drinking this tea every day, I was going through a rough time of, not being able to do what I went to Taiwan to do. And I was just hanging out drinking a lot of tea and packing some orders of Sunny, and then drink more tea, and then
but couldn't go see teacher.
I couldn't go see teacher. I couldn't go meet farmers.
Yeah.
Which is in a lot of ways it felt like a big failure, and every day when I would come back to this tea, it kind of brought a levity, a lightness.
Oh, okay. Levity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like levitate.
Oh, levitation.
Levitation.
Oh.
Levity is like lightness.
Okay, cool.
Because a lot of the other teas that we drink and that I had there are pretty heavy, dramatic, bold, fighters, sometimes challenging, which was great to drink those teas as well.
Totally, yeah.
And I would drink like 3 teas a day. Drink about 2 ounces of tea a day by myself. But pretty much every single day, all the other ones would change. This is the one that was constant because it brought a levity to the situation when I was feeling kind of down for not being able to do what I'd set out to do. Yeah. So it means a lot to me. This tea means a lot to me. It's good to come back to it. You can see how light it feels, right?
Yeah.
Even though it is rich.
Yeah.
And it's
but it's not a heavy tea.
No, it's a
Yeah.
I keep calling it straightforward.
Uh-huh.
Simple is a little bit not the right word, but it's kind of what it is. It's like I said it before. It reminds me of a pretty young girl in the countryside. Emotions are easy to read. Not playing with your, not playing like games in terms of how it feels. It's just straightforward and lighthearted and playful. Yeah.
I am just really happy that I really get to see the richness in the broth in this tea.
Yeah.
Because I know we when we did it separately on that session, I struggle with that, right? Because you keep saying it's rich, and I was just like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And even though I could, check all the checkpoints, because there's no doubt that this tea is clean. There's no doubt that the tea can enter the body. But it's just that richness was not happening for me.
Yeah.
And I actually remember, I brewed this tea for Steve one time. Hey, shout out. Hey,
I think
Steve.
it's like that. It's Steve time. Welcome to the section of the podcast where we shout out Steve.
And I remember I brewed this tea for him. Yeah. And it was good. It was tasty, and it was not rich. Yeah.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very, very good. I am so happy today that this tea showed up for me finally.
Me too.
Yeah, in a complete way. Not what you were seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's good, right? I could drink this a lot.
Yeah. When there's a richness, in a broth, yeah, sure. I can see why you can drink this every day.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I was like, I'm not gonna drink this every day.
I could drink. I don't remember what you said. You said, this is like, don't take this wrong. This is not the kind of tea that I would drink. I'm like, okay. Well, give it a try. You're like, But yeah, I'm glad that it showed up today. I don't know. I just felt like drinking it today, and
How interesting.
And it showed up.
And then you gave me the opportunity.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's great.
Yeah, because if not, maybe by the end of the bag that we saw it all out, I still couldn't understand this tea is rich.
It's rich, right? It's rich.
It is. It's
Milk
you don't need to convince me.
and honey.
You don't. You don't need to convince me. Mine is milk, corn, and sweetness, and then flour.
I see little bees buzzing around.
You can almost put it as a title of a novel, children's novel. Milk, corn,
Sweetness and flowers. Okay.
Isn't there a series of something like wardrobe?
Oh, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Here you go.
The flowers, the milk, and the corn. It's like a children's novel for children that grew up on a farm.
You guys can see how my brain actually jump, right? And then what I think is funny, and other people be like, "What?" And it's just like
The child, the corn, and the honey,
Okay, before.
and the milk.
Oh yeah, and I with
You
milk.
can't-
You finish the novel with milk. Perfect.
I'm glad we drank this tea today. That's great.
Because you just can't finish the story with corn. This is wrong. Don't you think? Yeah. Can put your mind to it. These 4 items. What do you want to finish it with in a novel setting?
Beans.
Beans. Sorry.
Yeah, beans. I'm thinking about tortillas now. talk about corn so much.
Oh, yeah. For a while, you were like in the pocket, keep talking about beans or something.
Yeah.
Like what kind of beans you want to cook.
I love beans, and I love tortillas, and I love chili. But that's not what this tea's about. This tea's not about that at all. That's more like a dongding kind of tea.
This is where the cultural stuff start to bring a little bit trouble. Even yesterday, we talked a little bit.
Oh, about sweet beans? Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't get super excited every single day to eat rice and beans as a meal.
I don't eat rice and beans, but I like beans and tortillas and chilies and cheese.
Because in Asia, we eat beans in a smaller volume and in the
form of sweet.
Yeah.
In the form of treats.
So big shout out to Pam if you are listening. Pam told us yesterday that her husband think mooncake is disgusting. Because he has like red bean inside, and then who eat those things?
Oh, it's going to be mooncake season soon.
Yeah, so gross.
I, for one, love mooncakes. We're a little off topic. Sorry. But yeah, mooncakes are great. What are you doing now? You got a picture.
Yeah. So before we go, we'll do a little bit of a temperature thingy. For those of you who see our meme on IG or Facebook.
Oh, talking temperature. Okay, yeah, we want to do this.
Temperature, just a little bit, just a little bit. I don't want to get too much into the temperature thingy. But since this, I mean, we talk about that in a podcast. We talk about that in a YouTube video.
We talk about it in real life every day when people come in.
And the meme was just a light-hearted meme, and it's a funny meme, and there's.
Well, what happened was you were talking to a customer. Shout out if you're listening, Shane.
Yeah.
And I should have tagged him in when I posted the meme.
You did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. I can't remember what I did. Anyway, he was talking to you about tea temperature, and then you were like, your kind of premise about why you use boiling water and blah, 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 blah. And then he thought it was funny. He made a meme about it.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it.
But anyway, it got us to talk about temperature of water another time.
Yeah, and there are a lot of comments on the post, and so just want to emphasize this again. I was born and raised in Taiwan, and when I got into tea, I learned pretty much all my tea stuff from Taiwanese farmers and the teachers there. It seems like most of the people use boiling water for their tea, and they don't quite talk about it that much. You simply just watch how people brew tea, and you're very well aware that everybody pretty much. I mean, not everybody. I cannot speak for all the people on the Taiwan island. Okay. But the people that we met so far, everybody use boiling water.
Including farmers, roasters, teachers, tea brewers, tea, what do you call that? Educators.
Yeah. And then it's later, finally, when we started to film the tea documentary, we got introduced to I call them a couple of teachers, and then I actually didn't know these people before that. So a big shout out to Wisteria's boss lady, Sophie. She is one of the most generous souls that I met in Taiwan, and she said if you want to film people, you got to meet these people too. And she helped me to set appointments with them, and the whole trip simply blew my mind. And then I will say one of the teachers, he actually is a tea brewing master, and he talked about temperature. He's the one that actually told me about temperature and the reason why he did that. And it's like, as hot as possible, baby. He didn't say that. He used charcoal. Anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into his brewing style. Hot, okay? And then later is actually I interview our charcoal master teacher's student who is also quite a
accomplished roaster
oh,
himself.
he is so good. And then I remember the following year we went back to take a few lessons from him on tea brewing, and he indirectly and directly talk about temperature.
Yep.
And even on the speed between temperature in a pot versus brewing, and that was very fascinating to me.
Essentially, these two tea brewers, they have two separate techniques for keeping everything as hot as they possibly can.
Yes, yeah.
But the goal is keeping it hot.
Keeping it hot and use boiling water, and even in between brewings, how do you keep it hot?
Yeah.
And so, but you know, I think learning is like this. Learning is you go in and learn and figure out in a way your own ways, you know, and I am, even when Shane asked me what temperature do you use, and that's why I wrote a long message to him. I said I prefer boiling hot water, and here are the reasons why. And I say then compare this with lower temperature to see if you can see the differences, and then figure out what you like. And also, by the way, on a tea journey, I don't know about other people. I change my mind. It depends on where I am at. You know, I change my mind on teas. I change my mind on the style. I change the mind on the concept. So was someday I look back and say, wow, that hot of a water is really a bad thing. Maybe. I mean, with tea, I really can't say I'm gonna keep one mind. Just 1 second. So where was I?
You were about to talk about Shane, and we told him about why you like higher temperature, and that he can try lower temperature and test it out together. You were talking about higher temperature in the teachers and why they like it.
Oh, yeah, because we just got 2 sets of customers coming in to buy tea, so I don't know where I left it. No problem.
We even talked about temperature when the customers came in.
Oh, yeah, because they
asked about the temperature, water temperature.
Yeah. So anyway, since they come in, my tea kettle do get cooled down a little bit. I don't have a thermometer here, but I know it's not boiling.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's 165.
This is not 165.
You don't think so?
No, I think
175.
it's higher. 175? No, because it's actually rising.
Oh, okay.
The steam.
190. It's 190, everybody.
We're totally not scientific about this thing. But anyway, it's cooling water. But the steam on the hot water is still going up, but not vigorously.
Whatever it is, I don't consider it hot enough to brew tea.
Shut up. And so I just put back in some milk and honey oolong, fresh dry leaves, and then let's try maybe just 2 infusions to talk about the differences, and feel free to try this at home. Really fun, if you think it's fun. So Noah, I hope you took a snapshot on the previous tea.
I took a whole photo book. I took a whole movie.
Video, yeah, movie about it.
I took a whole Netflix special.
Oh, that would be nice to get onto Netflix special someday.
I want to hear some more. Since everything's been kind of crazy the last few years, there haven't been a lot of new comedy specials coming out.
Yeah.
Need some new specials.
Yeah, comedy special.
Looking at you, Mr. Burr. I like to hear Mr. Burr.
Bill Burr?
Yeah, I haven't heard him for, I think the last special he had was 2019.
Oh.
Mr. Chappelle's been coming out with some stuff. Short stuff, though. They've all got podcasts. If they want to be featured on one of the world's premier podcasts,
Yeah, right.
I recommend they come down to Seattle.
Does Chappelle have a podcast
Yeah,
too?
he does.
Oh, he does?
Yep. They've all got podcasts now.
I know Joe Rogan has a big one.
Rogan's got the biggest podcast.
All right. First infusion of this milk and honey oolong on a lower temperature. Now I say the corn is on the kernel now, not on the space that close. You know, the kernel and then the space, what is that, the cob?
The cob.
When it's hot water, it's on the cob. Right now, it's the when you bite open the kernel. I am not joking. Don't look at me that way. I'm not making up shit about this thing right now. There's more sweetness, way more sweetness.
I don't know what to say about this.
Liquid is very smooth, but it lack of movement. And so really,
It's like if you're making lemonade and
What?
you're like, let's just take the lemons out.
that's not like that. Come on. Not that bad.
What do you have? You have sugar and water and lemons? Just get rid of the lemons and we'll call it good.
Not that bad. It really depends on the person who, as a tea drinker, and what type of eater that person is. Maybe that person can drink lemon. It doesn't like the sharpness of lemon.
Yeah, then you just have
Honey water.
honey water. Yeah.
Mild honey water.
Not a bad thing.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you if you ask me, since I sell these teas, and you ask me on my teas, I am gonna tell you what I prefer. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
And if you ask me on other people's teas, I normally tell you to ask the vendor, whoever you buy the tea from, ask the vendors, not me, because I don't know that person's tea.
But
So you ask me about my teas, that the tea you buy at Floating Leaf Tea, what's my preference? And seriously, me as a tea drinker, I pay a little bit more attention to texture than to flavor. That's one. Second, I am a person who like to see dimensions, see how a thing can develop. So when it comes to tea, then I mean, this is scientific, right? Hotter temperature push things further, right? Even on the note, it penetrates the scent, whatever smell that the tea carries, the scent will go into the nostril, has a higher chance, if with the same tea, it has a higher chance to push into the nostril, because I want to see how it can move inside of my nose. But with lower temperature, it doesn't, let me put it that way, that the scent, the structure, the physical structure of the scent, first of all, it doesn't move as much. Second of all, it's not as thick. I'm talking about the same tea, okay? The same tea. That if a tea has a capacity to move into the nose on the scent part, then I would like to watch it. Then with a lower temperature, there's a less chance that I can see how it's moving. That's one. Second is on the broth, how a tea liquid can also move. And with lower temperature, it stays a little bit more still and very pleasantly stay still. Actually, what I observed is second way to brew this specific milk and honey oolong, it stay in one space a little bit more than when I brew it with boiling hot water. Okay, you're looking at me like I'm a moron or something.
no. It's
What?
So I like this tea a lot. I'm not talking about other teas. I'm talking about this tea right now. It's in front of me. I like this tea a lot. The previous pot that you brewed, really good to me. This pot feels like an injustice to the tea.
Oh, cool. That's exactly my point.
Yeah, it feels like it's sleepy. It feels like it's not fully awake.
Cool. Excellent. So that's exactly my point. Try it. However, there will be some people who drank this tea on the second style and prefer it.
Yeah.
And I will say they will own it too. After all, they are the one who are brewing the tea, not me.
It's more sweet. It is.
But I will say on a tea journey, don't be afraid to change my mind. As I said earlier, maybe one day I will look back at boiling hot water and say, what the fuck was I thinking? I don't know. I really can't know that, But I think my point actually today is really, really clear. If you ask me what I like right now, I'm gonna tell you my honest thinking.
Yeah.
But I always finish a sentence, then compare it with a different thing.
Yeah, just try it.
And then figure out what you like right now. Because every single moment, then the experience is the tea drinkers. And as long as the tea drinker really enjoyed the experience, it's good to me.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah. So I like this tea with boiling hot water because it got the richness and the satisfaction and the dimension on the texture opening up. There's more than the lower temperature, and I like tea that way. So here you go, Shant. One more answer for you. Excellent. I look forward to drink this tea actually one more time on Tuesday.
Yep.
It will be so much fun with some people that actually bought the samplers. I love drinking tea that way also with people, just to hear people's feedback on the screen, and then when Noah read it out loud to me, and it's just like, in this pandemic time, it's not a cliche. I do feel like I am closer to you guys, and that's a fantastic feeling. Because tea, after all, is one of the vehicles that bring humans closer, and we can do this very often during the pandemic, and somehow technology imperfectly offer us a way to be just a touch closer. Love it. So happy tea drinking, everybody. We will see you on Monday. Oh, before we go, do you have anything to say? Sorry.
No, actually, I can't think of anything. We just got the live session coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Excellent. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.